I mean, listen, I had that, man. I had this girl who was bad. You know, she looked good. The sex was cool, whatever. I was all whatever, you know, sprung on her and everything else like that. But she just had this weird chip on her shoulder. And we would go out and, you know, let's say we go to the post office and she'd go to mail something and someone, like, she'd be working the table and someone would, like, grab this bitch, like, excuse, that's my fucking paper. And,
I've seen people like that.
And the guy would be like, yo, why are you talking to me like that? You know, it's my fucking paper. Are you stupid? And I would have to step in and be like, hey, listen, she's had, hey, it's okay, you know, and she's expecting me to handle this shit.
Right.
And after a couple of times, you know, or she'd be walking around and she'd have her ass crack out. And I'd be like, yo, can you not dress like this?
Right.
Oh, what? I can't dress how I want? And I'm like, no, you could dress how you want, but you're attracting a level of attention that I then have to deal with. Because if a man goes and says some shit, I'm right there. Now I might have a,
as a man, you feel like you should defend.
She, whatever. You know what I mean? She don't care. And it's like, and like, you know, listen, I'm not a punk. Like, you know, I mean, I didn't have to get in any fights, but I'd have to diffuse situations to the point I'm like, yo, I can't do this shit anymore.
And that's what I want men to say. No matter how fine you think a girl is, don't risk your life.
Well, because if a woman respects you, she's not going to put you in that situation.
Yeah, going to put you in that situation. But there's some people, they just don't get it. I understand. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And the guys still rock with her, like, and you go, what the?
Well, I mean, but think about it. Her husband is a registered sex offender. He got other kids. You know what I'm saying? He's got a criminal record. He got nothing going on. And it's not like he's even involved in her career. Because when it was like, oh, he's on house arrest for 4 months. What's the difference? He has no job.
Right.
You know what I mean? He sits at home with the kid anyways. He doesn't help her write her songs. He's not her road manager. He's not her producer. He's not her ghostwriter. You know, Safari at least was kind of helping her with her music, and you know, they were kind of, you know, not ghostwriter, but they would collaborate, and he would help pick her beats and stuff like that.
That's another thing.
This dude is just someone she used to date before that she could, you know, that's going to do whatever she says. And
obviously, now that I got all the information that you're telling me,
no, it's wild.
Obviously, like, man, and I know you got your information.
I got my information.
On point.
When I brought this up to Faison, what he says that there's certain types of women that like men to just be their dress-up dolls.
Yes.
They'll get their man, they'll put all the Versace and Louis on them, give him a watch, give him some nice shoes, take some pictures with them, and then, you know, but that's all their shit.
That's it, yeah.
You know? Some women just want a man they can control, that they could dress up the way they want, and they will sit there and follow them around.
That's so far from my way of
thinking. So far from my way. Yeah, I can't do that.
I
don't even like dating women that have more money than me.
I could date a woman that have more money than me.
I didn't like it.
No, you didn't like it?
Didn't like it.
Ego.
Yes.
Yeah, ego. And
ego.
How they played it.
Yeah, it's ego.
Because some women who have more money than you, they do it on purpose to show they got more money than you.
I remember
then you got some women who just, you never know they have a dollar.
No, I know, man, listen, I remember when we were talking, when we were dating and we were, you know, thinking about maybe this might get more serious. And then her family, she was from Indonesia. This was like the one Asian girl that I dated throughout my life. And her family was like rich from Indonesia. And she said, yeah, you know, if we get married, my parents will just buy us a mansion. And I'm thinking like, well, this does sound good, but then it'll be their mansion.
Yes.
And she can kick me out.
Right.
Do I want that? Do I want a house that I don't really own?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like, as opposed to, hey.
I don't think it's that you're upset. I think that that's not just the way you move.
It's just not the way I move.
Yeah, that's not the way you move.
It's not the way I move.
Yeah, it's not that you can't deal with it.
Because I feel like
you want to have you a boss.
Listen, I even at that point, I was maybe 25 at the time. Like, I'm going to buy my own mansion at one point. I don't need to get with someone that's going to help me skip the line. I'll get to the end of the line myself.
And that's a character of a man.
That's just me.
Yeah.
And look, at 50 years old, I got my own mansion.
Here's the thing. That's a character of a man.
Yeah.
You understand? There's certain characters of a man you can't play. You don't linger and go both ways. When you're a man, you're a man. Yeah. Bottom line is how you cut.
That's it.
It's how you move.
Yeah.
Nothing's
going
to change
to it.
No compromise to it.
I'm not wearing a dress.
And I'm saying
I'm not wearing high heels. I'm not wearing a wig.
I'm saying to you,
I'm not going to put on lipstick.
You're a man.
I'm a man.
And that's what it is. Like,
You've never seen me look like this.
Yeah.
You never see me in subservient positions.
Baby, I rock with you.
Yeah.
But I ain't moving like that.
I ain't moving
you
like
ain't gonna be able
that.
to put me the fuck out my house.
Exactly.
And we don't we talk about this all the time?
Yeah.
We try to teach him anyway. To be a man.
Right.
Man, even if you got to work 2 motherfucking jobs, don't you let no fucking woman put you out on the street. That's,
exactly.
Nigga, you got your character as a man.
Right.
It's fucked up.
That's why I've always hated the concept of felonies, of being forever punishment, because you get a felony, you come out, you can't rent an apartment. You can't rent a house. Oh, you didn't know this?
No.
A person who comes out of prison with a felony, when they go to apply for an apartment, they have to check off whether they have a felony or not. Now, they could choose not to check it off, but then they will do a background search on you.
Yeah, they sure will.
Now, look, if I'm a landlord, right, and you apply, you want to get an apartment in one of my buildings, and if I say, you know something, I'm not going to rent to you because you're black, you could sue me.
Right.
I'll get in a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But if I say, I'm not going to rent to you because you're a felon, perfectly legal. Perfectly legal.
A new credit, but a felony.
A felony will keep you, now certain places will be like, okay, well, in certain areas, especially, okay, a bunch of our tenants are felons and we kind of let that go, whatever else. But, you try to go into a nice area, they don't want felons living with them because it potentially could cause problems, right? And they can legally tell you they're not going to rent to you. So what happens next? Now you got to go find a woman to live with.
So true.
Now, it's not going to be the best woman. It's going to be a woman who's, overweight,
right? Maybe
has 3 or 4 kids from 5 or 6 baby fathers. She don't know whose is whose yet. Man. You know what I'm saying? And you know what happens if you get into that argument? Get out of my house.
Yep.
My man Jason Weaver, the actor,
yes,
is on The Chi right now with that exact same situation. As his character on the show.
Right.
It's a guy that got out of prison, got with this nice kind of middle-aged lady who works at a nice art gallery, but he ain't got no job. Right. And at one point, she's, my house, oh, your house. Oh, you know what I mean. And then at one point, he's, he don't have a job, so he tries to hide some guns in the house. She finds those guns. He comes home, his bags are packed.
Right.
Get out of my house.
That's right.
I don't want this shit in my house. In my house.
Yep.
Now, if it was their house, it'd be like, well, listen, we gotta work it out.
Right.
Yes, I did wrong, but my name's on the lease. But get out of my house. And this is why I feel like it's a forever punishment. It's a revolving door, and it needs to change.
I agree.
Because regardless of what you did, if you go to prison, you served your time, you should come out with somewhat of a blank slate.
I agree. You serve your time served.
Time served. You've paid your cost to society.
Yep.
You should come out and be able to start your life over.
I respect that. I
respect it.
Yep, I do.